My name is Rhapsody and welcome back to Monster Train Herzal's Workshop. I'm gonna go random for this challenge. It's one of the Covenant 25 challenges. It is homework. The math challenge. Room combat previews are disabled. Prove that you can win once with no combat previews. I'm gonna random for this one because I know that in my ideal world I do a Stygian run and it gets out of control in terms of its incants, and then I no longer really have to worry about the combat previews. With these two classes, I got some combat previews to worry about, unfortunately. It's okay. We'll find out. We'll find out how to manage this best. I mean, look, the base deck already says Ember Drain. Sorry, Ember Drain and damage shield, damage shield, damage shield. So I'm probably gonna try and go monstrous and work from there. Escos cards get +3 to their X value when played. That's really good for the Prismal Dusts. However, the Chain of Gems would actually be like really ideal for a Penumbra coming out. No, I can go first Hell Pact here. It's also worth noting, first Hell Pact is going to be really good with a lot of the rares from Umbra, as well as with Mind Collapse and Vent, which are both tools that I would be looking to get basically as soon as I have the ability. Okay, Umbra Banner, Merchant of Steel over on the left-hand side, so we could try and run a chump-blocked Gorge floor as well as a monstrous floor by itself to start out with until we find some sort of a Descend or Descend tech. No Descend tech in these clans, so we'd have to look for a colorless card solution for that, so we probably don't want that. So Ascend tech is probably how we deal with that then. Effectively, what I'm saying here is I think that we are going to become an Ember Drain build contingent upon getting some extra way to generate energy, because ideally I'll go for a double stack and cost reduction on this. When's our first dupe? 3 areas away, Wax and Archers. We only have 1 Merchant of Magic before that as well. This isn't good. Oh, this is really not what we're looking for. Okay, so the Merchant of Steel has the Umbra Banner directly next to it. The frontline units that we will be looking for in this kind of a challenge, I mean, Crucible, the one that gets damage shields would obviously be the easiest one for us to manage. Then we have to find more way to put morsels in it for the rest of the run. That's definitely one way to approach it. So what's the worst case if we go to the Merchant of Magic and whiff hard? What, we use double stack or holdover? Should we find either of them there? We use cost reduction. Double stack's really good on the Prismal Dusts as well as on the Void Binding. Cost reduction's really good on the Prismal Dusts as well as the Void Binding. Like, we've got a lot of we don't have a lot of different upgrades that we want to take. We have upgrades we really want to take, which confuses this a little. I'm going monstrous. I am worried. 2 things are true. Number 1, I'm going monstrous, and number 2, I'm scared shedless. That's right, I have no structure in which to house my power tools. Let's try and make this one as simple as can be. Nice. Oh, right, yeah, the combat previews are disabled, right? So attack, the front line it dies, the shiny steward kills the clergyman. The more Queen's Implings I put on the bottom floor, the far better off I'm gonna feel about this fight. Shade Splitter for health. Ooh, lifesteal, that's health. It's health by any other name, but it definitely smells as sweet. Unfortunately, because I'm guaranteed to throw out a hit with the Penumbra, nothing I do on this top floor really matters. So, okay. Good Toombra right there. And then effectively run exactly what we had previously. I don't need to throw those anywhere. Okay, we'll go Fledgling Imp in the front line, then Void Binding, Prismal, and I think that's just going to be enough damage shield that I don't have to worry about the rest of the fight. Yeah. Unfortunately, we take damage to that Weight of Contrition, and will do to this one as well. No, well, we don't. We're fine. We're fine. Yeah. Had enough. Sure is an Exos right there, but that's up against an Immortal Trade. I need consistent lifesteal access, otherwise that minion is going to die. Oh, here's our Ascend or Ascend with Dazed as well. So how do we utilize this? We're loading, right? We're loading units behind the monstrous Penumbra on the top floor. So that means we use the hidden passage. Also, the fact that we want to be able to cost reduce it once and be able to play it, like, from then on out. There's our holdover. So the problem here is unless that Alpha Friend has multi-strike and quick specifically, it's not really going to be a usable unit. Got Merchant of Steel in the next area and a Concealed Caverns. I'll find a way. Okay. This holdover could easily just be holdover and reduce the cost of the Void Binding. And in fact, I think it will be. Plus 10 magic power applies to nothing. If I re-rolled and saw double stack there, I'd be really sad about it. I do need that hidden passage to continue being playable though, so I'm gonna re-roll. There's a double stack. I reduce the cost of the hidden passage though, so that I can play it regardless of Ember Drain. We go back out into battles. Hopefully we find enough money here to find a single upgrade at the absolute least. Modifying the amount of money that we get upwards is going to be this unit draft. This enemies gain 4 additional damage. That'll be fine. They really ought not manage to gain that on my watch. Ideally, at least. Sure, I'll chump that for damage. That's not chumping, that's sacking. I'll sack that for damage. Okay. Let's see what we get from the Shade Splitter. Perfect. I'll go to the top floor. We got King's Impling here. Throw a Shiny Suit down on the bottom line. We will lose HP on the friend, but the friend doesn't die. And nice, we do get the ability to ascend you this turn. And then we get the ability to win. Bop, bop, bop. There's that Void Binding coming in clutch. Uh-oh. If our plan for not taking damage is damage shields, then lifesteal isn't incredible, is it? Immortal Trade may not have been my smartest choice. It's okay. We may be able to find a way to utilize it later. Taking the Mind Collapse for the ability to get some armor back. Don't need any of these. Closest would be Molting Imp because I'm lacking AoE at the moment. God, I'm actually lacking a hell of a lot of AoE at the moment. I'm about to go the Concealed Caverns, so Daedalus is going to give us a rare card as a reward, which means that I can no longer get AoE solutions such as Vent. So what? I'm looking for Inferno. Not Mind Collapse. What's the Cavern Collapse or whatever it is? 4 energy, deal 20 damage to 4 different enemies, slay, gain 2. That's not good. That is not good. So Pyramane's over there as well, so it's possible I can't even afford anything in that Merchant of Steel yet. Oh, our Sweeper's monstrous... Ryan! Yeah, absolute butt. Completely ignoring the key strategy you'd already drafted in the build. Put over the left. Find it. Large Stone's actually usable here. Before I do that, though, could go to the concealed cavern. Gain an upgraded version later. So the upgraded versions of units do decrease their costs, but they also typically give them like revenge triggers. Or make them like endless. Things I wouldn't really appreciate. I also have to dupe that void binding in a near area, so I don't want to do it on that. So Heaven's Aid for extra... Okay. Heaven's Aid is the name of the upgrade regardless of what you get. There is one that gives us gold, which would be okay. There's one that just gives you an additional copy of the card that you play, which would be fine as well. Can't even remember what the final one is, though. I could get a Prismal Dust out of here for that. Sure. Come back. Come back to me later. Pop a large stone on an alpha friend. Yeah. So now it needs quick. Don't necessarily love that either, to be entirely honest. Noombra. Get that friend out there. Start buffing the Noombra. Hidden Passage is free, which is why it's okay to do this. Yep, that's all fine for a while. So we've got a scaling solution, we've got a defensive solution, we've got an AoE solution. Monstrous is going to get larger at such a rate that I'll have the ability to take down the frontliners as well. Honestly, as long as I find one of the rares that gives us multi-strike, we're fine. Yeah, you know what? You get in on the action. It's Jamboree. Why don't you control it for a bit? I'm sick of controlling all the action. It's such a responsibility. That's a very, very localized reference, I've just realized. Anyone else a big fan of that theme park, specifically in New South Wales, Australia? No? Alright. I guess it's like it's akin to like a Six Flags reference being made by an American, right? Give you your counter inverse example there. There's the One Horn's Tome I was looking for. Yep. No reason not to take that. So I could try and load a second one, but I think it's a lot harder to actually do that. I think we just need to focus on what we're currently doing. Now, here's a big decision. If I don't take the capacity gem, it's possible that the Penumbra cannot be played on the top floor. Am I fine playing it on the middle floor? Maybe. Alpha Friend could be then played on the bottom. We could send it up. Hang on. So the next Dark Forge is directly after Fell. So I could avoid taking Light of the Seraph here. The only thing is I'm definitely taking it at one point. Right? So one of them is going to be Light of the Seraph. The other is going to be Herzal's Compound. Actually, no. We're doubly increasing the size of you, right? No, but we only need to go to 6 people on one floor. Yeah. No. It's totally fine. One of them's Light of the Seraph. One of them's Herzal's Compound. The only problem is there are a couple of floors here that could have haste or some impact that wants me to specifically set up on the top floor. When does that become harder? Well, I mean immediately, but I can deal with that for now. Totally solvable for the moment. Definitely happy to increase the density of void bindings in this deck. That's our defensive solution at the moment, right? The One Horn's Tome will come out later. Let's dupe that. Wow. Nope. Nope. I gave it a moment, but no thank you. Also, it's really hard for me to actually develop these train stewards. So we get rid of a couple of those before going for our upgrade. Okay. It's cool. I want to set up on the top floor anyway, and I want them all to have their full HP when they go to the top floor anyway, so we're all good. Yeah, exactly. This is what I was talking about, right? I can't set up on the top floor with this, but it's fine. Setting up on the second floor is totally okay. In fact, actually, if we use a Queen's Inkling, we can get an individual kill here. Nice. So we're actually not currently even capable of playing the One Horn's Tome yet. We're going to have... it's going to take us a little bit to figure out exactly how we play that, but obviously we are going to. What can I do right now? Two... Mine collapse the back line, and then do I start my Void Binding train? Yeah, I do. Send them up. And we're all good. Especially with these two Void Bindings with Holdover confirming 2 of the cards that I draw every single turn. In order to actually have any reasonable cycle through the rest of my deck, I definitely need things like draw gems. Perfect. There again, and right through the rest of the beasts. In fact, why don't you come up here? Why you come up here? Come up here and say that to my face. There you go. Everything says +3. I mean, look, that's extremely minimal, to the point that I'm actually considering the possibility of the alternative. Merchant of Steel, Forgotten Boons, Concealed Caverns. That could be ridiculous for us is the big thing. Right, like that could be Dante. Let's think about it. This Merchant of Magic is inaccessible because it's on the opposite side to that Hellvent. This Merchant of Steel is inaccessible because it's on the opposite side to the Merchant Trinkets, and I haven't spent money in the previous ring. So it's Merchant of Magic here if I want to actually have good utilization of things. Merchant of Steel variant, love it. And if it's Merchant of Magic here... Like, the biggest thing that I want to do right now is double cost decrease the One Horn's Tome, so I have the ability to play it and then start chaining out my my Void Bindings. I'm feeling less comfortable with that plan. Because unless I do both on the same turn, I suddenly get really, really scared. But if there's something I can agree with, it's that +3 does not almost ever make a difference for us. So we'll get rid of that. Oh, there is Descend tech in this. Oh, sorry, at the very start of the run, I said that Umbra doesn't have Descend tech. I can't believe I forgot Cave In. There's Cave In. Emberflorge set up on the top floor would actually legitimately have an opportunity to try and give us the amount of energy to play a One Horn's Tome. The only thing is it immediately becomes useless as soon as I start playing the Void Binding, so it's really hard to actually want to invest in. Skip that for the money, definitely. So Rage is good. We're stacking some Rage with the Void Bindings. However, depriving ourselves of a card draw in order to draw and then play this, as well as a damage shield, is a pretty high cost. It's a pretty high cost, especially compared to the fact that, like, you know, how much extra damage is it? It's going on a unit that isn't necessarily by base multi-striking. It's going on a unit that doesn't necessarily have sweep, right? It's only got sweep if it actually overwhelms the enemies with damage. So what, it's 14 damage straight up? It's... If it was going on a unit that could utilize it in a different way, maybe. In a different way that multiplied its own effect. Maybe if I had a Deranged Brute, maybe if I had some other stuff. But it's literally just straight Rage 14. So I'm going to be skipping that one too. Prismal Dust that comes back to... Oh, yeah, this... Okay, fine. We'll just take this one back immediately. Thank you. I don't care about more ability to heal my higher off the back of that one. Consume removal. I mean, consume removing a Prismal Dust is not bad. Is it? Well, I mean, hang on. It becomes apply 2 damage shield for 0 energy. That's just a void binding. The bad one at that. Okay, let's decrease the cost of that One Horn's Tome. Permafrost. See, Permafrost is kind of exciting, right? Put Permafrost on something and then you have the ability to actually choose when you start utilizing it. Not going energy though, so it has to be this. We're very reliant on a One Horn's Tome that's hard to play. Oh, you know what I could do? Give Permafrost to this. So we do actually get some healing out of it. That's not really the reason I'm giving it Permafrost. I'm giving it Permafrost so that I can play it immediately after I play a One Horn's Tome. So that we don't lose our fragile unit. The more cards I cut from this deck, the far more powerful this is going to get. This is a little bit of a problem. This one's rough. I'm going to need to get the multi-strike tome out here. Non-boss enemies gain multi-strike. As much as I want artifacts, look at my artifacts right now. As much as I want artifacts, I don't know if I can take this one. Because the Penumbra is going to have something like... Yeah, because the Alpha Friend in the backline is not going to be the one that gets the One Horn's Tome. It can't be the one that gets the One Horn's Tome. Because the Masters of Light will sweep kill it instantly. I can't take this. The big reason that I can't take it, sorry, I kept skipping over it, is because the self-made Harpy that I would have to fight after fighting a bunch of enemies with multi-strike has 5 attacks, which means I would lose all of my damage shield very, very, very quickly. So I can't, you know, play where I'm losing damage shield consistently in that way. I need to have some time to build it up over the course of the fight, lest I lose. Speaking of not wanting to lose, let's play the 2 cards that guarantee the win right there. Love a good guaranteed win. Anything else? No? Prismal? Make sure that fragile unit never has to use any of their HP. As it turns out, with that draw, yeah, we actually would have been safe. I still prefer the safety. Yeah, I'm not even going to raise the enemy here. What's my damage shield out? 22. There we go. 400 damage back to the enemy every time they attack me, so they'll get 10 of my shields off, and then we kill them. Prism Retrieval. That's not bad. No, it's bad. It's really bad. We've got a lot of Queen's Implings in the deck. Pulls them out for 0 cost and makes them quite large. If it's ever played and draws a card, it removes 2 cards from our deck, so it kind of reaches a parity there. But in the first cycle, it's still 1 more card between me and the rest of the tools that I want to play together. We're skipping. It's almost certainly none of these. Just giving a little bit of consideration to input a box here. And pass it up. We don't have as much money as I need. This Merchant of Trinkets. Oh, Merchant of Trinkets in the next area. Never mind, we're fine. Totally fine. Okay. Artifact first up. Friendly unit center with lifesteal 2. Love that. That gives us the ability to leave the monstrous penumbra just kind of standing by itself for a while. Okay, in the removals here, like literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We could remove 12 cards from this deck and be extremely happy if all of those got out. A 12 card deck for us that is just core pieces is ideal. In fact, I wonder if removing is our big priority now, because literally if we draw those cards, we're fine. It's just if we lose a unit because we can't draw those cards and we're waiting for a One-Horn's Tome, then we lose. All right, yeah, get out of here. Why don't you just scram? Why don't you take a hike? Okay. Is there a world in which we win for just having enough void bindings? Yep. It's the world we live in as well. This final boss is going to be trying to hit us back and is going to be throwing melee weakness on our characters. But as long as we just have so much Divine Shield that they never actually hit us, we don't have to worry about it. Allowing the enemy to hit us as we have, you know, what? Like 200 HP, but they've stacked enough melee weakness on us that they still get the kill. That's the worst case scenario for us. So damage shield is a really good way to kind of mitigate that concern. This is one hell of a first turn rate. Here. The thing is, I actually don't need to play One-Horn's Tome in this fight to win. But yes, that was oops. That wasn't oops on I did because whoopsie doopsie, you know? Okay. I'm really gonna last out this next cycle like this. No, because I do not need to. 1, 2, 3. The floors get no more complex than, like, I think 100 and something, 120 maybe distributed. Okay, doke. You get up there. Okay, the Clipped Guardians is significantly more than that. I was wrong. However, we'll be fine. It's also like this boss doesn't have 10 multi-strike to the point that I'm worried that I'm going to run out of Divine Shields. It's a big problem. I really don't like that the Alpha friend in the backline has to have Penumbra kill something. Sorry, it has to have Penumbra leave things alive in order to actually be able to damage anything. Works out there, though. Okay. Any rage-related relics would be really good for us. It's worth noting, currently the Alpha friend is contributing extremely little to this fight, right? It's in my base deck as, oh god, I think it's a 25, 65. Yeah, plus 15, it's base 10. No, it's base 15? Anyway, it's only attacked like 4 times. And I would wager a fair few of those have been against the Seraph or in the first 2 turns it was standing alone. the amount of rage on friendly units is pretty good. Yeah, Kindle ain't bad. It's the ability to generate enough energy on the right turn to play One Horn's Tome or a Prismal Dust. So you gain 2 Ember for every X invested into it. It's X plus 3, so you get 6 Ember by base just by playing this. Merchant Trinkets, Concealed Caverns, and Forgotten Boons are on the left-hand side here. Dark Forge as well. No, the better way to accomplish that is just by removing things. That last stand's impossible to play, though. The things that give me rage take away my ability to play the last stand. Cool. And now we take the capacity. Told you I would. I guarantee there are people who thought, no, he's lying. He's not going to do it. I did. What of it now? Putting it into with rage, pyre, block. Okay, no. Reroll. Rage doesn't decay on friendly units is not bad. Really, I want rage more damage thing. Rage more damage thing. I'm so proud of being so eloquent, you know? Definitely don't need any of these. Maybe we were fighting the Consuming Seraph. Make more sense for us. Monstrous 3. Enemies enter with armor 20. That's actually a little bit of a problem because these Wiltwings come in pretty loaded. I need the money. I need some more money here. It's also worth noting, as long as we do get the multi-strike tome out, we are completely A-okay. Wow. Okay, so we get the multi-strike tome out, but we can't play Alpha Friend right now. This is good. This is fine. In fact, it might be ideal. Good. Thank absolute heck, because now we've got enough damage shield that the hitbacks of these Wiltwings is not going to just break my frailty and kill me. Which, consider that to be a good thing. Okay, we were on 9 in the previous turn, and then 8 at the end of that turn. 14 down to 7. Okay, we're finding some attrition here. It's going to be less on the next line. 6. Okay, we're fine now. One, 2, 3. Yeah, we could not be better off. 13 damage shield left over at the end. Perfect. I mean, Ember Cash is Ember Cash. And you don't turn Ember Cash down. Imp-important work is interesting, but I intend to cut more imps from the deck. It's going to get less and less useful. Shade Slitters are actually probably our priority cut right now, though. Okay. Alright, Trinkets. Hey! Rage for additional +1 per stack. We're never going to be able to keep energy with Unbroken Horn for long. Honestly, Resonant Shard plus Consume Crown would be ideal. How many enemies are we going to kill per cycle? We give significantly more than that in Rage per cycle. It's the Resonant Shard, definitely. Double removal here will be to Splitters. The Dupe. Absolutely has to be another Void Binding, right? Yep. We've kind of, I hope at least, proven our point as to why that had to be that. Get more should splits out of this deck. Down to 21 cards. All right. Feeling pretty good about it. Okay, not a bad opening draw. We get the Penumbra on the top line with the double lifesteal from the courtesy of playing it first. We play out the Alpha and a Fledgling behind. We lose 2 of the Void Bindings. However, part of the reason we wanted to dupe them is so we're guaranteed, well, not guaranteed, but we're quite likely to have Void Bindings either in the same hand as or after the One Horn Stone, so we can start generating our damage shield so that we can actually start protecting our unit that has Fragile on it by that point. Not in love with this. I didn't really want to play that on that floor. Giving the enemy the incant triggers here. Are we ascending you? I think so. Start out with a Fledgling Imp on the bottom line. Destroy that. Then a Prismal Dust to try and proactively defend, because we've got all these Shade Wings that are going to come up with multi-hits. That's a lot of damage shield that we're losing. We do get at least 8 per turn after all the Void Bindings are up, but that's after all the Void Bindings are up, right? We got to get to that point first. So we already have the damage shield blocking all of the incoming damage. We actually have a really good opportunity here to utilize all the Queen's Inklings. It's like a legitimately good opportunity for us. Because now the next cycle has nothing but our power cards. Okay. Void Binding, Prismal Dust. And then we hit go. For about 1 matches, really. No, I thought that was Prismal Dust at the bottom of the... Okay, cool. We spent the other one already. Whoops. Up. We have 15 damage shield. The incoming hits are 5. Yes. Okay. We are definitely extremely okay. However, we can still use the Mind Collapse there to save us 1. Should have probably used it on the floor below to save us 2 from this Lightwing. Yeah. Alright. And that'll do it. Void Binding is a good card. Get him! Got him. A good old 620 at the very end there, just to wrap that one up for us. Things like damage shield are really good for allowing you to very effectively simplify the calculations you otherwise would have to do in order to go through something like homework. However, I didn't choose specifically to abuse that. I just happened to randomize that clan. Let's get that run summary. This is just a fun run regardless of the homework right there. Fair few different ways that you can take that. For the moment though, I gotta go. It's the end of the episode. My name's Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Monster Train. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourself. Now, I've got to go, but I've actually recently hired someone to work at at Rhapsody Enterprises to kind of like just keep the microphone warm, right? Keep it company, effectively. The microphone gets lonely when I'm not talking into it. It's gotten used to me talking into it for however many hours a day. So despite the fact that I go, my intern, Julia, actually stays. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you next time.